Let's start, though, with the big breaking Formula One news today that both Ferrari drivers have been disqualified from the Chinese Grand Prix. Charles Leclerc and Lewis Hamilton finished 5th and 6th, but their cars both failed post-race technical checks. Alpine's Pierre Gasly has also been.
Lewis Hamilton breaks, silence after disqualification, and shocks everyone. The Formula One world is still in disbelief after the Chinese Grand Prix drama, where both Hamilton and his Ferrari teammate Charles Leclerc were disqualified in a stunning double blow for the Italian team. What seemed like a strong points finish quickly turned into a nightmare, leaving fans and experts stunned as Ferrari's hopes crumbled just hours after the race. Hamilton, who had crossed the finish line in 6th place, was stripped of his result after FIA officials discovered the skid block underneath his Ferrari was 0.5 millimeters below the minimum thickness requirement of 9 millimeters. The technical infringement was minuscule, just half a millimeter, but in the precisely regulated world of Formula One, it was enough to erase Hamilton's 8 championship points and continue his rocky start with the Scuderia. What makes this situation particularly painful for Hamilton is the timing. The disqualification came just 24 hours after he had silenced his critics with a sprint race victory on Saturday, his first triumph in Ferrari colours. That win had appeared to be a turning point after his disappointing 10th place finish in his Ferrari debut in Melbourne. Now, instead of building momentum, Hamilton finds himself facing another setback in what has become a turbulent beginning to his Ferrari career. The drama unfolded at 7:15 p.m. local time when Hamilton was summoned to see the stewards. Just 8 minutes later, the verdict was delivered: disqualification. The FIA statement was straightforward. The plank assembly of car 44, Lewis Hamilton, was measured and found to be 8.6 millimeters, left-hand side, 8.6 millimeters, car centerline, and 8.5 millimeters, RHS. This is below the minimum thickness of 9 millimeters specified under Article 3.5.9 of the technical regulations. During the hearing, Ferrari representatives confirmed the measurements were correct and admitted there were no mitigating circumstances, describing it as a genuine error by the team. This marked Hamilton's second disqualification in just 18 months. Having been stripped of second place at the 2023 US Grand Prix for a similar infringement while driving for Mercedes. The double disqualification was completed when Leclerc's car was found to be 1 kilogram underweight, erasing his 5th place finish. This left Ferrari with 0 points from a race where they had initially secured 18, a devastating outcome for a team aiming to challenge for championships this season. Following the disqualification, Ferrari released a statement explaining what went wrong. With regards to Lewis's skidwear, we misjudged the consumption by a small margin. There was no intention to gain any advantage. We will learn from what happened today and make sure we don't make the same mistakes again. For Leclerc's car, they attributed the weight issue to high tyre wear, resulting from a mid-race switch to a one-stop strategy, though other teams managed similar strategy changes without falling foul of the regulations. Hamilton's post-race comments, made before the disqualification was announced, hinted at his struggles throughout the Grand Prix. "I was just struggling with pace, so I just wanted to try something, but it didn't work," he said, referring to the two-stop strategy that left him a distant 25 seconds behind race winner Oscar Piastri of McLaren. Little did he know that his challenging day was about to get significantly worse.
I feel okay. I wasn't able to get the result that I was hoping for today. Once I needed a good start, which I got, and I was trying to see if I could pounce forwards, but I just didn't have the pace of the cars up ahead. And just balance-wise, from the sprint race, we made these changes and the car was terrible after.
The race itself had been difficult for Hamilton, who despite a strong start where he passed Max Verstappen at the opening corner, found himself at odds with his team during the event. He was involved in several testy exchanges with race engineer Riccardo Adami over team orders to allow Leclerc to pass him. "We are swapping cars on turn 14, Hamilton was told at one point, to which he snapped back, "I will tell you when we can swap." These communications highlighted the growing pains in what is still a very new relationship between Hamilton and Ferrari. This disqualification has significant championship implications. The modified results promote Mercedes' George Russell to third place, giving Hamilton's former team a podium finish, while his replacement at Mercedes, rookie Kimi Antonelli, is elevated to sixth. Oscar Piastri led home Lando Norris in a McLaren 1-2, with world champion Max Verstappen finishing fourth. British teenage sensation Ollie Bearman also benefited from the Ferrari disqualifications, moving up to 8th place and securing more championship points early in his career.
15, det är alltså 15:e platsen vi mäter på nu för både Russell och Hamilton.
Kommit fram i det här partiet där de har som mest problem. Vi kan se i nedre kanten av bilden hur mycket det hoppar upp och ner för det. Och det här påverkar honom in i den här.
For Hamilton, this marks the latest chapter in what has been a challenging transition to Ferrari. After 11 seasons and 6 world championships with Mercedes, many expected his move to the Italian team to usher in a new era of success for both parties. Instead, the early races have been marked by adaptation difficulties and now technical infractions that have cost valuable points. The technical nature of the infringement, just 0.5 millimeter below the required thickness, highlights the razor-thin margins in Formula One. The skid blocks in the wooden floor have a minimum thickness to ensure drivers cannot gain an advantage by running their cars lower to the ground than permitted. While Ferrari insisted there was no intention to gain any advantage, the rules are clear and applied consistently across all teams.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's good learnings, and hopefully won't do that again as I continue to learn this car. So yeah, I think there's definitely positives to take from the weekend. Obviously we're losing ground to McLaren's points wise, and McLaren.
This isn't the first time such incidents have affected top teams. Last season, Mercedes' George Russell was disqualified from the Belgian Grand Prix after initially believing he had won the race with a one-stop strategy. His car was later found to be underweight, in parallel to Leclerc's situation in China. These precedents underline that regardless of team prestige or driver status, the technical regulations are enforced without exception. Looking ahead, Ferrari and Hamilton face the challenge of putting this disappointment behind them quickly, with the Japanese Grand Prix looming on the horizon. For a team with championship aspirations, leaving China with 0 points represents a significant setback in what promises to be a highly competitive season. The incident also raises questions about Ferrari's operational procedures and whether similar issues could arise in future races. For Hamilton personally, the disqualification adds another layer of complexity to what was already a challenging adjustment period with his new team. At 40 years old and in pursuit of a record-breaking 8th World Championship, these early setbacks will test his resilience and determination. The coming races will reveal whether this Chinese Grand Prix nightmare was merely a bump in the road or indicative of deeper issues that could hamper his championship ambitions. Can Ferrari recover from this operational error and provide their star driver with a car capable of challenging for victories consistently? And how will this affect the dynamic between Hamilton and his new team as they navigate the pressures of a Formula One season? The drama of Formula One continues to unfold, with this latest chapter adding yet another twist to what is already proving to be a compelling 2025 season. What do you think this disqualification means for Hamilton's championship hopes? Share your thoughts in the comments section and subscribe to our channel for more updates.